I'm Eli Shramko.
And I'm Eli Resnick, and we'll be running down week 1 of Ballard Sports in 60 seconds. Let's get straight into it with the girls' varsity soccer playing Collins in the new Pat Crawford Stadium. Senior night, festivities. Will they be able to pull it off? You betcha. Collins are threatening early. Trinity Liberto with the save. Later, ball played by Ella Sanchez to Maya Maxwell. Whoop! Goal. Ballard dominates. Ballard 9, Collins 0. To you, Eli.
Thanks, Eli. We move on to varsity field hockey, visiting KCD for an exciting district matchup. KCD with a free shot. Surely they score. Michaela Johnson says, "Not today." What? Later in OT, Raleigh Hunt gets her own rebound and finds the back of the net. Ballard escapes Bearcat country with a win. Ballard 1, KCD 0. Back to you, Eli.
Thanks, Eli. Let's finish with the boys' varsity soccer, visiting Christian Academy. Dino Hodgick with a free kick from 20 yards out. What? Second half, Ballard up 3-0. Max Scrappy Doo Brown says, "Let me get him!" and catches the goalie off guard. Ballard 4, Cal 0.
That was this week's Ballard Sports 1-minute rundown. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Harrison Russman, and today I'll cover the new Ballard Sports procedures as a result of new COVID regulations. Despite the excitement surrounding the new Ballard football stadium, there won't be a student section at the games this year. Tickets this year have been limited to friends and family. With limited fans in attendance, however, Ballard picked up their first win of the season in their first game against Fern Creek in a 27-0 victory. The Ballard field hockey team, also with limited fans in attendance, have jumped out to a 5-0 start to the season. This has been Harrison Russman, WBHS.
In 2016, Colin Kaepernick first took a knee during an NFL preseason game. Kaepernick was protesting racial injustice and police brutality across the United States. Kaepernick influenced many other athletes that season, and that influence has stretched out to now. After calling for reform in the off-season on social media, athletes from the NFL, NBA, and MLB took to the field and to the court to express their opinions. In the NFL, players also wore decals on the back of their helmet expressing support for victims of racial injustice and police brutality. Athletes from across the world expressed their support for other athletes in the United States. Teams in the English Premier League and in the German Bundesliga expressed their support for social reform in the United States and in the world as a whole. Overall, since Colin Kaepernick first took a knee in 2016, Kaepernick has inspired hundreds of athletes to stand up for social reform, and this season, it's at its peak. With WBHS, I'm Sean Ackerman.
As you may know, COVID-19 shut down a lot of things. It shut down stores, hair salons, barbershops, and it even got to the point to where it shut down professional sports seasons. COVID-19 shut down NBA season, baseball season, soccer season, you name it, it got shut down at some point in time this year. But thanks to people practicing social distancing and people wearing a mask, professional sports is slowly making a comeback. NBA season started back in July 30th, but they got to play in Orlando and with no fans. NFL season started back in September 10th, but they got to play with no fans. And that goes the same with baseball season, soccer season, etc. For basketball, however, according to the KHSAA, basketball season should start in October 15th, and games should start back on November 23rd. The question is basketball season going to start back on October 15th? Is Kentucky even going to have a basketball season this year alone? Is Kentucky high school students even going to go back to school this year? I'm Jeremiah Williamson. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Jared Cook, and tonight I'll be predicting the Week 3 matchups of the NFL season. We have some great matchups this week, so let's get started with Thursday night. Starting off, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Miami Dolphins this Thursday. This week, I have the Jaguars beating the Dolphins as Minshew Mania continues. score being 33-17. At 1 o'clock this Sunday, we have two undefeated teams facing off in Buffalo as the Rams travel to play the Bills. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs have had an amazing start to the season, and I don't really see them slowing down, as I see them taking down LA 35-31. The Patriots are coming off a loss to Seattle this past Sunday, and this week they'll play the Raiders, coming off a surprising win against the Saints this past Monday. They're starting off 2-0. The Raiders are off to a great start. I'll give them credit. I think they're playing well. But come on, man, you're not beating Bill Belichick at home, coming off a loss with Cam Newton. I got the Raiders falling short 31-21. Later on this Sunday will be what should be a great matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks. Both teams are coming off impressive wins this past weekend. Dallas came back from a 20-point deficit against the Falcons, and the Seahawks going down to the wire against the Patriots. Russell Wilson, so far, has had an MVP-type season. The Cowboys' defense has been mediocre, so I'll take the Seahawks starting the season 3-0 against the Cowboys, winning 38-24. Sunday Night Football. You got Rodgers, you got Breeze. Two NFC favorites face off in New Orleans this weekend. I think the Saints will bounce back from a disappointing Week 2 loss. I don't see them beating this Packers team. Offenses look great from the start, and Green Bay has that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. I get the Packers winning in New Orleans this week, 34-28.
He's a bad man. Whoa!
Finally, you cannot forget this week's Monday night matchup as two of the best offenses face off in Baltimore. Mahomes and the Chiefs play the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. This looks to be possibly the best game of the year. Two high-power offenses, prime time, two MVPs. Both undefeated, I think this will be a very high-scoring, competitive game. It'll be close, but I have the Ravens beating the Chiefs Monday night 41-38. I'm Jared Cook, WBHS.
If anybody else got to say something different about that, then come see me. Big trust. Woo woo. Lamar Jackson.
Many high school sports teams have been affected by COVID-19. Jefferson County Public Schools decided to go ahead with fall sports as long as precautions are followed and masks are worn by all fans at games. This past week, the seniors of the field hockey and soccer teams had their senior nights in order to honor their well-awarded seasons, even throughout a pandemic. This has been Reagan Yarmetter with WBHS.
Hello, I am Anthony Hazley, and I will be talking about how COVID-19 hurt high school athletes on getting recruited to college. Connor has suffered an injury, knowing that this would be his last year to show his talents. COVID hurt Connor really bad. He couldn't contact coaches. He couldn't even meet coaches online or in person. Connor was also really hurt by COVID because of the season ending and canceling the season for baseball. So Connor wasn't even able to show off his talents to coaches because of COVID. COVID-19 really did hurt a lot of high school students with trying to get recruited over the summer. Not only with just trying to get film out to coaches, but also having their season ending right in front of their faces.
Field hockey's changed a lot with the COVID mandations coming from the state. First, we have to take the temperatures of every player as they enter the field, and they have to answer a COVID questionnaire every time that we're here so that we can contact trace. We also have limited seating in our stands for fans. Players are only allowed to have 2 fans with them. Our team's super resilient. They're handling it very well, but we are having the mentality that every game is your last game because we never know when the season might end.